Howdy, welcome to Family Friendly Foods. Today is gonna be fun. We're gonna do some winter squashes and I'm gonna make some pumpkin seeds. Yummy. Today, Kirby can't be here, so I'm all by myself. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a good time, even though she's not here to harass me. What I'm gonna do first is we're gonna make some pumpkin soup, which I love. And I swim, and all my swimming buddies the other day said they absolutely, under no circumstances, would ever use a fresh pumpkin to make pumpkin soup. So I'm using canned. But yes, you can take your pumpkin, you bake it 350 degrees, and guess what? You scoop the insides out and you've got the same thing in the can. But none of them said, oh, I'm not gonna do that. But let me explain what you do when you cut the top off the pumpkin the way you do with Forever. And later on, I'm gonna take the seeds out. Then it's really hard to cut a pumpkin. So what I do is I take it and turn it upside down and bake it for 30 minutes at 350. And then I take it out of the oven and then I can cut it in half. And after I cut it in half, I lay it flat with a little oil, salt, and pepper, and I let it cook about another half an hour. Anyway, that's the scoop on this, but we're using canned because everybody told me at the pool that they absolutely wouldn't, under no well, I can't get this top back on, would do that from scratch. They just aren't gonna do it. I said, swell. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take about 2 tablespoons of butter. And you know how they've got the marks on the butter thing. Now this is real butter. I always use real butter. And I'm going to start my burner. And when that melts, I'm gonna saute some onions. And it's about 1/2 cup. And it's supposed to be finely chopped. Trust me. It doesn't have to be finely chopped. You just don't want a bunch of hunks. And when I go to put my onions in my butter, I'm gonna use what Kirby always refers to as a window scraper. Actually, that is not it. It's a bench scraper. And you can get it like in metal like this, and you can also get them in plastic. Okay, now, first I'm gonna take my onions, or as Mr. Wilson would say from New Orleans, oignon. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna saute it and I'm gonna keep moving it around. I don't want them to burn, but I'm gonna cook them until they're soft. And then I'll start adding stuff. And what I'm gonna add is some flour first. And what flour will do, it'll take that butter that's in there and it'll turn it into a roux. Now, a roux is equal parts fat and flour. And butter's the fat in this. And you can use any kind of fat. You can use oil. You can use coconut oil. That gives stuff a really neat flavor. But anyway, so I'm just doing this la-dee-da-dee-da. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add my flour. Now this is a tablespoon. See, I like to prep everything like this before I start, then I'm not running around going, oh no, where is it? I'm turning this off because I wanna make a smooth roux. So I don't want it to keep burning up. La, 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 la. Now, I've got a roux. I'm going to add some other seasoning. I'm going to add my salt, and I'm going to add nutmeg. You can add nutmeg, but you know what I like to add lots of times is pumpkin pie spice. I really like to add that. They say only 1/8 of a teaspoon, that's not enough, but I think you'd really like it if you added pumpkin pie spice instead. Okay, now I'm gonna stir this up. Get it all stirred up. Now, I'll turn it back on, turn it down some, and I'm gonna add 2 cans of chicken broth. Now, if you wanted this to be vegan, you would add 2 cans of vegetable broth. But I've got chicken broth here. This soup could not be any easier to make. It really couldn't. And then I'm going to stir it up again. And I am going to put my pumpkin in it. And oh, that's right. Jeez. All right, pumpkin. Don't let it splash all over you. Okay, pumpkin. Now, if you're using fresh pumpkin instead, when you get finished cooking it, you're gonna wanna take it and use an immersion blender because it won't be as smooth as this when it comes out of the pumpkin. Okay. You know, most people look at me when I say pumpkin soup and they think I'm crazy or something. But if you've never had pumpkin soup, oh my gosh, it is so good. Now, I'm gonna let this cook for a while. And then I'm gonna get some salt and pepper to put in it. So I'm gonna let this go for a second or two, or for longer than that. I want it to come up to a small boil or simmer. Now, as I said, at the very end, we're going to add heavy whipping cream. Yes, oh yes. I love this stuff. It is so naughty. Oh, mwah. Now, salt and pepper. Got my salt. And salt's personal, so whatever you want. Put some in it now, and then taste it, and it's fine. Now, pepper. I got black pepper, which everybody has, and I've got white pepper. White pepper's a little hotter than black pepper. It's basically the inside of the black pepper. But if I use white pepper, you won't be able to see it in here. Not that it makes any difference, but you get some kids and they go to eat and go, oh gosh, I got bugs in my... Just avoid the bugs and use some white pepper. I'm not kidding. They can get pretty funny about that. Now, I'm going to let this simmer for a while. Cook yummy, yummy, yummy. I got all the ingredients in it but the heavy cream. I'm going to let it go till it simmers for a while. In the meantime, I'm going to get my pumpkin seeds. So I'm going to move this stuff out of my way and get my pumpkin seeds. Oh my gosh. Pumpkin. And I'm putting them in a colander. You don't have to, because you're not going to really wash them. But you want to get them out of the hair. I call this hair. It's not hair. You know that as well as I do. So while I'm doing this, see, that's cooking, and we're all happily ever after. And when that finishes cooking, I can make these. Now, just so you know, when you cut them, if you put them in the microwave for a while, it softens them a little. Now, you can cook them in the microwave. Now, you microwave your squash for about a minute, and it will soften it enough that it makes it easier on you to get your squash cut in half. Same way with the pumpkin or anything. But here's a scoop. You don't have to. I mean, I've had people tell me that they've cooked their squash in, oh God, this feels weird. They cooked their squash in the microwave. But the deal is, if you cook something like that in the microwave, what you have to do is you have to make sure you got a hole all the way through it, or through to the middle, because the daggone thing will explode in your microwave. And let me tell you, that's when you turn around and act like something's wrong with you and ask somebody else to clean it out. It is a friggin' mess. I mean, you know, you can threaten people with it. You can say if you don't clean it out, you can never eat again. I mean, whatever you want to say to them, but this feels so weird. Yee. I need to get a cup of seeds. But this is what you do if you were going to cook it. You always want to get the seeds out of your squash. And then, like I said, you turn it upside down from here. And boy, I'm making a mess. This is going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to say to the camera guy, "Oh, I'm so tired. I don't think I can sweep the floor." And we'll see what happens, you know. Okay. I think I got most of them out. And the rest of them, if you're baking it, will fall out. Oh, yeah. Whoa. There's a whole bunch of them right in this one spot. I guess I ought to get that spot, huh? Boy, I'm glad I got little hands. Let me get this right here. Come on, darn it. Darn it, darn it. I remember growing up, you know, you weren't allowed to say any dirty words in my house. And I used to say darn it all the time. But my mama, she was funny when she'd get really mad. And she'd get real mad and she'd say, "Hell, boy, you knew to go running." All right, done, done. All right, I'm gonna leave those alone. I'm gonna wash my hands. And again, if you're gonna bake this in the oven, you're gonna bake it upside down for 30 minutes. Take it out, cut it in half, and bake it for another 30 minutes with salt and pepper inside. All right, wash my hands. I will be right back. Okay, I turned this down. It's no longer simmering. And I'm going to add my cup of heavy cream. Oh, yeah. Oh, gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And I'm going to stir it around. And, oh my gosh, look at this. It's so beautiful. Now, and I'm going to use this for my ladle. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yummy in our tummy. That made a lot of noise, didn't it? Okay, let me get a spoon and I'm going to scarf it down. Now, this is really hot. So, this is a really small spoon. This is good. I think I would add some pumpkin pie seasoning to it, because that stuff's so yummy anyway. Ooh, with a grilled cheese sandwich. Oh, a BLT. Oh, anything. This is just yummy. Pepitas. I love saying that. All right, so I'm going to take these that I got out of the pumpkin, And I'm putting them, I need about a cup or so, and that's what I've got in my pan. I haven't turned my pan on yet. This is where you got to pay attention to what you're doing. Okay? I'm going to turn this on, and we're going to cook them dry like this until they start to swell. Now, some people say to me, well, I'm just going to do it in the oven. Well, you can try that, but how are you going to know when they're ready? You know, everybody's oven works different. So just do it like this and pay attention. And while you're doing it, you want to keep stirring it. But see, I love real restaurant stuff because it's got these little knobs on it. And it won't go into the pan. After this is done, I'm going to put four cloves of garlic that I've already chopped up. Then I'm going to add a little sugar, red pepper, and salt. Now, what's really good, if you've got it, is some smoked jalapeno to put in here. But I can't buy a whole, I did not need a whole bag of it because I don't use dried chilies that much. All right, so let me stir it up. Oh, yes, oh, yes. La, 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 la. Alrighty now. Swell, please. Swell, please. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, it's kind of hard to tell if they've swollen or not. They're getting there. They're still a little chewy. Yum, yum, yum. I don't know, a lot of people say they've never had pumpkin seeds, and that's too bad because they're a fun treat. I haven't tried making it with other squash seeds, but pumpkin, acorn, butternut, spaghetti, all those squashes do have seeds that are big like these. So they're all potentially worth trying. All right. I think these are pretty swollen. This is so tall for me that I have a hard time doing this. All right, how about some garlic? And I'm talking about the real thing with my ice cream, my ice scraper. These things are a great present, by the way. You can get them at Dine. Now, I've got this down almost all the way, and I'm sauteing lightly this garlic. I wish y'all could smell this. Oh, so it doesn't burn. I'm going to turn this off for a few minutes. Now, I'm going to add my sugar so it's not bitter. And again, I already measured it out. Put some salt on it. Got to have salt. Stir this up a little. Now, you can or cannot add the hot pepper to it. I am. This is 2 tablespoons of crushed, not tablespoons, teaspoons of crushed red pepper. And I'm going to keep stirring them around. I don't want anything to burn, so I got to keep it moving. Now, I did turn this pan off, but if you touch it, you'll get a blister. It's hot. But I want to keep messing with it. Yeah. Boy, it smells good. Okay. Now, yes. What I need to do is get something to put this in. Oh, fun. Okay. I'm gonna, oh man, that tastes good. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yeah, buddy. And I'll put them out so they dry. Now, if you want to squeeze some lime on them, that's really good and tasty. But you can't keep them for a long time if you do that. So if you just do them like this, and whenever you have a little bit on a plate, you can squeeze some lime on that. But you can save them like this.